What if I told you the man who changed the future of heart surgery, lived nearly a full century, never took a single supplement, and still wore his military uniform from the 1940s well into his 90s? Dr. Michael DeBakey wasn't just a doctor. He was the doctor, performing over 60,000 heart surgeries, saving lives across 8 decades, and advising every U.S. president from Truman to Clinton. But here's what makes his story unforgettable. He lived to be 99, without vitamins, without retirement, without ever compromising on joy, passion, or balance. So what did this legendary heart surgeon actually eat? What habits did he swear by? And most importantly, what one simple thing did he consume every day that he believed kept his heart young and his mind razor sharp? You're about to learn it all, backed by science, enriched by real-life stories, and sprinkled with practical tips that could genuinely change the way you live. So buckle up, because you're about to discover the DeBakey blueprint for living to 100, naturally. Stay with me till the end. I promise you, this isn't just a lesson in longevity. It's a blueprint for thriving at any age. The silent threat you can outsmart heart disease isn't just a medical term. It's the #1 cause of death in the United States. Since 1950, cardiovascular disease has claimed more American lives than any war, any epidemic, or any other illness, accounting for nearly 1 in every 4 deaths. Globally, 17.9 million lives are lost to heart-related conditions every single year. That's more than the population of New York City. Gone. But here's the shocker. Nearly 80% of these deaths are preventable. That's where Dr. DeBakey's story becomes more than inspiring. It becomes essential. He spent his entire life not only treating heart disease, but showing the world how to avoid it in the first place, using food, movement, mindset, and discipline as his tools. Meet Dr. Michael DeBakey, the surgeon who refused to retire. Born in 1908 in Louisiana to Lebanese immigrants, Michael DeBakey had an early fascination with medicine. By age 23, he had already invented a roller pump, a critical component of the heart-lung machine that made open-heart surgery possible. He pioneered coronary bypass surgery, helped create the first artificial heart, and even co-developed a miniature heart pump with NASA. But even more impressive? At 90, he still drove himself to work. At 97, he was still entering operating rooms. At 99, his mind was sharper than ever. He lived through 2 world wars, 8 presidential administrations, and the entire evolution of modern medicine. And did it all without prescription drugs or a rigid diet plan. Tip number 1. Walk like your life depends on it, doctor. DeBakey's #1 recommendation for a healthy heart? Something every single one of us can do today. Walk. Not on a treadmill. Not with fancy gadgets. Just plain, brisk walking. 30 minutes a day. Alternating pace between slow and fast. He treated walking as medicine, not exercise. He avoided elevators. He preferred wandering the hospital corridors over sitting still. And there's solid science behind this. Walking briskly for 30 minutes can lower your risk of heart disease by over 30%, reduce inflammation, and improve arterial flexibility, all without raising cortisol like high-intensity workouts can. But here's where it gets interesting. Dr. DeBakey also endorsed something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy your body burns doing simple things, fidgeting, tapping your feet, cleaning, gardening. Studies show that NEAT can account for up to 2,000 calories a day in active people. That's more than an hour at the gym. In short, you don't need to sweat buckets. You just need to move often and consistently. Tip number 2. Work with purpose, not just for paychecks. While most people dream of retirement, Dr. DeBakey feared it. Why? Because for him, work was therapy. He rose at 4 a.m., did his morning stretches, and walked to the hospital, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Studies from Harvard and Stanford have confirmed what DeBakey intuitively knew. People who work into older age, especially in roles that give them purpose, have better cognitive function, lower risks of depression, and even live longer. Retirement, when done without purpose, can be a health hazard. Dr. DeBakey said it best. No vacation spot can ever be as soothing as the operating room. His mindset? Stress isn't the problem. Lack of meaning is. Tip number 3. Stress will kill you faster than cholesterol. Stress doesn't just make you grumpy, it literally corrodes your arteries. Dr. DeBakey believed chronic stress was the real enemy of heart health, more dangerous than cholesterol, fat, or even genetics. Why? Because stress triggers a flood of hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that raise blood pressure, promote inflammation, and harden arteries. And worse, it pushes people into bad habits, binge eating, smoking, sedentary living, all of which compound heart risk. His antidote? He swam in rivers, he went to the theater, he laughed, a lot. And he embraced a life philosophy that's now being validated by the science of positive psychology. Optimism is cardioprotective. Laughter boosts nitric oxide in your blood vessels, improving circulation. Joy literally opens the arteries. Tip number 4. The smoking revelation that changed medicine. Back in 1939, yes, 1939, Dr. DeBakey conducted a quiet little study that would shake the medical world. He was tasked with analyzing patients with lung cancer, and one shocking pattern emerged. Every single one of them was a smoker. This was decades before the U.S. Surgeon General made it official. His early research led to one of the first publications linking smoking to lung cancer, a finding that would eventually lead to warning labels on cigarette packs and anti-smoking campaigns across the nation. To this day, smoking remains the #1 preventable cause of heart disease and lung cancer, and Dr. DeBakey was among the first to blow the whistle. Tip number 5. Eat clean, simple, and consistent. So what was his secret food? No magic berry, no exotic supplement, no Instagram superfood. His daily meals were the definition of simple, and that was the brilliance of it. Breakfast? Cottage cheese for protein and calcium, whole grain porridge for fiber and energy, black tea for antioxidants and brain clarity. Lunch? Bean soup for plant-based protein and gut health, baked fish for omega-3s and inflammation reduction, raw veggies for micronutrients, fiber, and enzyme support. In his later years, he often had just one light meal per day, usually a big fresh salad with a yogurt-based dressing made with dill, lemon, and non-fat mayo. This wasn't a diet. It was a lifestyle rooted in moderation and functionality. No fried foods, no saturated fats, no overindulgence. Just food that serves the body, not food that enslaves it. What he never did: no vitamins, no supplements, no medications, no alcohol, no smoking, not even 2 cups of coffee, just one per day, every single morning. He believed everything we need can be found in real food, movement, purpose, and connection. Science is now catching up. A massive 2023 meta-analysis showed no meaningful benefit of multivitamin use in healthy adults for heart disease prevention, validating Dr. DeBakey's old-school common-sense wisdom. If this story inspired you even half as much as it inspired us to tell it, do something with it. Drop a comment and let us know. Which of Dr. DeBakey's habits are you going to start with? Hit like if you believe in living with purpose. Share this with someone you want to grow old and healthy with. And don't forget to subscribe. because this channel is all about unlocking the timeless tools for a longer, fuller, stronger life. We've got more life-changing insights coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next one.